Hello, you're welcome. It gives me great joy to notice you watching this video today, and I'm particularly very excited. I am Dr. Olayinka Akanle. I am a sociologist. I'm a researcher. I am a public speaker. I'm a life coach. On this channel, I do a number of things to make the best out of my subscribers and my viewers. So today, I want to be addressing a very important topic: how to migrate or relocate abroad legally. How to migrate or relocate abroad legally. Meanwhile, if this is your first time of coming in contact with my channel or my videos, kindly subscribe to this channel. Tap your notification buttons so that you are alerted every time I drop new videos. And if you have subscribed, thank you very much for staying tuned. So this video is very important on this particular topic because of popular demand. I've seen people reached out on this topic that they want to migrate abroad, but they don't know the legal routes to this. So, and also against the back, I've done many videos on migration. I've done a video of what you must consider before migrating or relocating abroad. I've done videos on how to win scholarship and study abroad. I've done videos on how to migrate into a ton of fortune abroad. I've done videos on how to migrate without using a jet. I've done videos on how to avoid migrating into modern slavery abroad. And many people have migrated out of ignorance, and many have migrated illegally, and they have found themselves in modern slavery, and many have perished because they use different routes, and many have had their destinies affected negatively on the account of migrating the wrong way. So if we are discouraging people from migrating illegally or migrating into modern slavery, we need to let you know what the routes that are available if you want to migrate abroad or if you want to relocate. And this topic to some might look so simple, but there are lots of people who don't know how to migrate legally, yet they want to migrate or relocate. So this is to build capacity in terms of regular or legal migration. Because if you migrate illegally, it reduces your life chances, and it can lead to migrating into perdition or destruction. So I think it's very important you watch this video carefully. I've identified 4 major routes if you want to migrate legally or you want to relocate. Number 1 is investor visa. So if you have investment capacity, if you have resources to invest abroad, these developed countries want people who will come and invest in their countries, and this is a very sure route to permanent residence or even citizenship. So investor visa is one if you have resources that you want to consider that. The other one, don't forget, it is very important to note this. The other one, which I'll mention, is student visa or study visa. So if you want to study abroad, maybe for your first degree especially, or your master's or PhD, you are entitled to this visa. And though study visa will not allow you to just become citizen directly or permanent resident directly, but if you can become permanent resident or citizenship by continuous legal stay. So if you do multiple degrees, consecutively, it can give you access to some countries. If you stay for 10 years or thereabout, you can become permanent resident. So if you do degrees after degrees through your student visa, you are given, even in some countries, you are considered as temporary resident if you have student visa. I've experienced this a number of times. So student visa is a way to migrate legally, and you can build capacity there. You can go to school, get certificates, and build skills needed to stay in those places competitively. So try as much as possible. If you have first degree, you can consider going for PhD abroad. If you have masters, if you have first degree, you can consider going for masters abroad. And even if you don't have first degree, you can consider going for first degree abroad. And this having study visas, though with some little restrictions on work, on how many hours you can work, it can allow you to stay there legally and begin to take your chances, and your chances are bright. Another way to migrate legally is family reunion or accompanied spouse or marriage. So if you're married to somebody abroad or somebody is going abroad legally, you might be allowed to accompany that individual. And once you get there, maybe if your husband or your wife or your spouse wants to go and study abroad, you might be entitled to accompany spouse. If your husband or your spouse or your wife is migrating or relocating on investor visa, definitely you can go with the individual if you are related, if you are a spouse or if you are family. So accompany spouse or marriage or family reunion is another way. But that original person who you are depending on must have migrated legally. You know, so if you have spouses or families abroad, it's a way you can go. Then the other one is work permit, work visa. So if you have skills that you can use or that are very scarce abroad, these skill sets might give you opportunity to apply for work permit or work visa. Meanwhile, let me emphasize that this doesn't have to be, maybe it doesn't have to do with certificates. There are people who have never been to university, but they have skills: plumbers, electricians, forklift drivers, truck drivers, a lot of other skills that may not necessarily be, there are soft skills that are needed overseas. These skills are not, it doesn't mean that maybe you don't have a degree, you don't have a PhD, you don't have a master. That's not because usually when we say work permit or work visa, people think it must be for people who are very educated. No, there are some countries who look for people that we call artisans. There are some countries who are looking for plumbers, who are looking for a lot of tailors, electricians, drivers, and the rest of it. So just search very well, ask questions around. So it doesn't, though if you have degrees, well, fine. Teachers are needed, doctors are needed, other skills are needed there. So just do your homework diligently. You never know, that skill that you are not taking so seriously, that you think that will not qualify, may qualify you for work visas, or work permit. Just search the web. I did a video on how to migrate or relocate abroad without using an agent. So you yourself, you can watch this video. That means you have the capacity to search the web, and you can then check if you have this skill set. Search diligently. So work permit, then a flip of this work permit is global talent visa. Global talent visa. This is usually for techpreneurs or people in IT, specialized skill in technology, that will allow you or the individual to relocate, even with families, to study, to work in IT sectors. It's for highly skilled people in technology. So that's a global talent visa. So, but please, you will notice that I've mentioned these 4 categories of routes to migrate legally. I've not mentioned visit. Please don't travel on visit visa if you want to relocate. It's a journey to frustration. Because if you travel as a visitor, don't forget migration. I did a video on migration and development. Migration means traveling to a place across definite boundaries, usually international in this case, for an extended period of time, usually 6 months. So if you are traveling on a visit visa, you are not a migrant, you are not relocating, you are only going as a tourist, and you will not be allowed to stay there as a migrant. You just be expected to just sightsee, be a tourist. So you are not a migrant. So So if you are not considered as a migrant, so if you have visit visa and you think you want to just go there after your visitor visa expire or tourist visa expire, you become a legal migrant and you begin to work on other people's documents, other people's passport, other people's certificate. It's frustrating. You may be turned to a slave, modern slave abroad. People can begin to defraud you. So if you want to relocate abroad, don't use the visit visa or tourist visa. You are not going to be considered as a legal migrant because that visa will soon expire. Then you can't renew it because as a visitor you must return to your country. And in some countries now, if you go and become a legal migrant, if you are caught, sometimes you are imprisoned before you are deported. And if you use another person's passport to work, the two of you, if you are caught, the two of you will be in serious problem. So I don't really depend on luck. If I get there, I will be lucky. It doesn't matter my luck. I'm determined. Determination is not enough. Just migrate legally and don't follow bandwagon. That everybody is migrating. I also must migrate. I'm not taking my life seriously because everybody is migrating. I should also migrate. No, determine your life goal and don't compare yourself with others, and consider your age. Age is very important. I agree that you can migrate at any age. By the time you are 40, 45, 50, 60, and the rest of it, you have to be careful. Some people I know are already returning back to their countries of origin at these ages. So consider your age, consider your health status. Are you sure your health can withstand the weather, can withstand the culture shock, can withstand the weather in those places? Can you do those menial jobs or difficult long hours? They work very hard in most of those countries. Consider your status before you migrate. Your career, are you established in a career? I did a video on what to consider before you migrate or relocate abroad. So age, status, career trajectories, health status are very important to consider before you go. And build skills before you relocate. Some of these work permit, if you can build the skill here or the skill sets here, then you can use these skills to migrate and prepare very well. Prepare mentally, psychologically, mentally, financially to withstand the stress or the challenges that may be on your way. And do search on the internet. Search very well. Information, pieces of information are available online. There are pieces of information are brought online about international travel. But many people are so lazy they can't search the internet themselves. They rely on agents. Whereas if you want to travel, your agent is not the best person to get instructions or a piece of advice from. Agents are businessmen. Sometimes they push you into modern slavery abroad because they want to collect money. They want to make money. They will not tell you the truth, the absolute truth. That's why this video is very important to build your capacity. So migrate legally. Please don't ever become a legal migrant. Consider investor's visa. Consider a student visa. Consider a company spouse, marriage, or family reunion. Consider work permit or global talent on. Build those skills and you will succeed. So I'm not to discourage you about migration. I'm not to encourage you unnecessarily. My duty is to empower you. Until I see you in the next video, you will succeed. Kindly subscribe, tap the notification button, and share this content widely. Comment and like. Thank you very much.